everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. So, Leon's in quite the pickle.
What do you mean the pickle? Torchbearer, the youngest acolyte of the Lord of Light. It's been a couple of months slaving away, scrubbing floors, lighting torches and candles, brewing porridge. Earned yourself a religion proficiency. Maybe got a little more of a respect or understanding of the social order, how to interact with others, knowing your place in things. You've earned yourself another charisma point as well.
Woo!
We have ascended this character a little bit. He's still too much of a failure to actually have improved any of his skills. But
get there, man. One step at a time.
Your wounds have healed. You're able to move about without penalty. However, your right arm has still not recovered. It was shattered at the shoulder, despite numerous surgeries and recauterization. I'm blanking on a short term for that. Branding of your shoulder. You have not regained the use of your right arm. It is effectively paralyzed, unusable, and your total hit points have been adjusted to reflect such. Yes. You will also not be able to use it for combat. I believe you have some sort of ambidexterity equivalently, right? You aren't going to get it.
Nope.
I think you're...
Nope, I've got martial arts style A and D,
I think with martial arts you can use your left hand. Like you get free. Oh no, you get a free unarmed attack without penalty, right?
Right. So I think in second edition, in most D&D, you're generally considered to be able to use either hand equally well for a weapon. So you don't. You get offhand penalties when dual wielding. But you don't.
So I guess it's not a rule. We always took the corollary of that to be if you use your, say, left hand and you're right-handed, you get a -2 to hit. Was always our house rule. But my reading of the martial arts system is that you get all these free attacks that seem to be with your offhand for free, and it specifically says without penalty. So you seem like I'm not sure which side you're learning for, but I think you can make left-handed attacks as a martial artist without.
I will take
without penalty. I've been wanting to know more about Leon's martial arts, right? Because martial art, there's brawling as a skill, which you can, I think, specialize in. There's not brawling, but there's pummeling and there's wrestling, and these other more street-like.
Yeah.
So martial arts implies some sort of like disciplined practice. Is it like a Krob Maga, like Seagadian street fighting? Did you learn this from? Is it like you took karate classes? What is your?
I think it's more like
martial art?
Western martial art than an Eastern martial art, right? These are like Western combat skills that he's learned. So it's maybe a little less.
Is there? So maybe like Western military training, or like you like disarming people with knives.
It's not like you're in a room
and
and there's like 50 people practicing the same strikes and you're all going over them together and like as one big group. This is more of like one-on-one. I would say like closer to boxing style martial art training. So Leon might have been part of some like boxing ring or equivalent, some sort of like striking art equivalent.
Boxing, that's something that crossed my mind. I think that would feel like, or like even like MMA, although it's relatively modern, it does take a lot of Eastern influences and throws them in the mix.
Right, I mean like every civilization that has significant power has had their own set of martial arts. And
let's
tend to
be
think
real,
of them as mostly Asian.
Yeah, D&D's a little racist to make it like, it seems to be implied that it's like, the Western, like boxing and stuff is, and like Greco-Roman, like wrestling, those are like, that's the pummeling and the wrestling, and martial arts with all these like special privileges are the...
Yeah, I think that's more of a figure of its time from a less, unionized, a less interconnected world back when, these things were a little less...
Yeah.
It's an old game that we're working with here, so the rules reflect the age that they were written in. So I think it's definitely some sort of like boxing, pummeling, one-on-one sparring art that he's got. But now he's a left-handed boxer. No right arm. I don't know if you want me to continue to get AC buffs from my style D now that I only have one arm, or if maybe you want to reduce that from +2 to +1.
No, you can. You're fine. No, I mean that's the whole point of fast forwarding several months. If you had gotten in a fight, well, I don't know. That's yeah. You've learned to use your. You've learned how your body works in these months. So that's what most of the recovery is, I think. Maybe you. I mean, have you been practicing your martial arts at all during this time, or have you been living into pretending that life didn't happen?
I'm not so much pretending that life didn't happen, but I think most of my time has been spent like resting and cleaning, and I don't think I've really been in a position to practice my arts. I think it's only after 4 months have passed that I feel good enough to really warm back up and get back into fighting. Might have spent the rest of that time doing spell reading, like scouring that read magic spell over and over and over again, trying to figure out why the hell I can't put it together. That's probably what I've been doing.
Okay. Sorry, I was blanking out reading about. I'm thinking ahead to how to heal your busted arm.
No fighting, no practicing, okay. Just reading, just studying. Mostly, like after I've memorized my spells, it's studying that read magic spell that keeps eluding me. And just
hold on a second. No, I don't think you can do that unless we're gonna retcon how these months went. Well, I mean, we can do that, but like, how are you gonna study without being noticed by the? I mean, so if you're gonna try to learn a spell,
half hour early that I wake up, I'll wake up, and when I don't have spells to memorize, I'll just like look at the read magic spell and try and puzzle it out. And it's only going to be like half an hour a day.
I think there's a chance that you get spotted. I think you're going to need to roll something for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. What skill would you like to use to?
I'd like to use perception. I think
see if you can notice someone coming before they walk in on you studying your dark arts.
Yeah.
Okay. So just roll like one perception check. We'll sum up the entire 4 months in the one perception check.
There you go. That's
cool. So you managed to carve out a half hour a day for study.
Yeah.
I don't think mechanically there's any way to get you a read magic spell. You could use that to study to something else.
Well, there's no spells left in the spell book to study. It's only read magic. So
yeah, I think you're sort of at a roadblock. Either you need to get more experienced on your own, or find a teacher that can maybe work around this.
Yeah.
So I think that study time is pretty much in vain.
That's fine. Maybe mechanically in vain, but character-wise, that's his obsession.
Are there books in the? There are other readings in the church, but it's slim pickings. I guess that's where your religion proficiency comes. So you do have other hours of study. In fact, you're required to like do recitations by candlelight at some point. It's part of your training. I don't know if it's So we can flash back to that if you have any questions about the religion, or if you want to ask now. Otherwise,
no, that's good.
Okay, so have we successfully fast-forwarded 4 months? Is there anything else we need to think about or do in that time? You are still clearly wanted by the guild, by the union. Right. I think the heat's died down a little bit. You've sort of taken on this new identity as Torchbearer. Have you let your beard and hair grow out, or have you?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that I want to do is I want Leon to kind of let everything grow out, and then once he's healed and rested and ready and like is about to undertake his quest, he will go through like he'll have a makeover.
Maybe. So it sounds like you've just assumed this identity of this mad monk. I guess you're not a monk, you are a torchbearer here of the Lord of Light. You've probably your brown robes have been replaced with a new set of brown robes. How do you wear your paralyzed arm? Is it like bound up, or is it dangling limply?
No, I carry it in a sling wherever I go.
Under the robes, on top of the robes? Like, so would it look like you have only one arm from the robes, or is it like slung across your chest, obviously?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think that speaks to how Leon feels about his arm. Is it the sort of thing that he proudly displays, or is it the sort of thing that he tries to like tuck away and hide and maybe like create an air of mystery around him? I think right now Leon is more ashamed of his injured arm than he is proud of it, so he will like keep it tucked inside of his robes, and then like with his other arm like roll up the extra sleeve on the robe and like pin it, so it just like dangles, and you can kind of see that he's just got one sleeve, but the arm itself is hidden inside.
Yeah, sounds good. Have you told anyone? So I guess the only people you're really interacting with are Pyre, the other two torchbearers, and the congregation. I assume you don't interact with much. Maybe have you told anyone your name or anything about your past?
Yeah, I will have told these other people my name. I would have told them my name is Maldris.
Maldris. All right. Okay. Typically, you will just be referred to as Torchbearer by either Pyre or the other torchbearers. But you did say that you're Maldris. You didn't admit that you were a magician. Right. Okay. I think you know that I think the guild refers to you as the pugilist, and is clearly still a wanted man. You still occasionally see maybe young rats looking to prove their worth, sort of going. Now you've sort of fallen into local legend. Maybe there's this rumor of the pugilist was this legendary enforcer for the mob. I don't know, legendary is where you think you legendary in your mind at least. But at least you are talked about. Who is still wanted? There's still a bounty on your head. And so maybe young rats will come around occasionally, looking for this mad monk, thinking about plotting how they would sell your, how they would get the jump on you and sell you to the union. But so far no one's made an attempt.
It's fine.
It's been a couple of months and the heat's died down a little bit. Yeah.
Well, after a couple of months, once I start to really heal up.
Yeah. So where are we going to pick up? Maybe the first day you step outside. Well, I think I can't step outside until I know what I'm going after. Right. I need to have some idea of what it is that I can do to like heal my arm, because I can't be of any use to anyone until I can do that. So maybe part of my religion, my time spent studying these books has been spent like looking for rumors or lore regarding tools of healing, maybe like an ancient healing well or an ancient healing potion or some sort of place where there has been some sort of like rumored or legendary ability to restore injuries. Sure. Why don't we make your first religion check? And I think ordinarily I probably would have required you to make these non-proficient checks before you could learn a skill. We kind of jumbled all that. I sort of went around that intuition just because it was like a time skip thing. Right. But you nail it in any case. Yeah, there are definite. I think what you would have encountered, and I guess that's a really nice roll. So maybe you picked up maybe you had some conversations with Pyre and things like that. In the scripture, there's certainly mention of people being healed, oftentimes with fire. And plenty of unworthy ones like reduced to ash, but the saints always, rise back up from the ashes, healed and stronger. Potions, yeah, there's also like mention of like people drinking things and being refreshed and healed. So like the concept of potion of healing is certainly in the scripture, but it's all pretty cryptic, right? It's like, yeah. So there's like maybe these like print, like what are those old time like picture book type things? I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Like religious
illuminated manuscripts.
So there's like saints drinking from these like drinking I don't know, fire water from these bowls and being cleansed and healed, but it's all pretty obscure. It's like, who made this? How would you make it? How would you reproduce it? And like, I think the implication is that if you like devoted your life to studying these scriptures and reached 9th level, they would somehow illuminate to you the secret of making this blessed fire water that can cure wounds. But it's eluding you. I'm not sure if you even really recognize in it the same mystical symbolism within arcane runes. But I guess that's pretty new to you as well.
This is all new to me.
But with the 19, maybe you brought this up to Pyre. You're like, look, there's this cripple who gets his legs broken, and his house catches fire and he can't escape. But he prays to the Lord of Flame. And like, I need, the healing fires restore his ability to walk, and he walks free or whatever. Right. After, blah blah blah.
Quick side note: Lord of Flame is not like the one and only god here, right? There's a
it's relatively it's fairly monotheistic. So there's this Lord of Flame and like a counterpart Lady of Light, like the masculine, feminine aspects. And this is like, so the overview, I don't think this is how it's taught to you, but over the 4 months, this is how your brain puts it together. And this is like some angel type archetype, like Lord and Savior, sort of the bringer of flame to mortals. So maybe there's like a god's pantheon, but it's sort of shrouded. It's like a Holy Spirit type of deal above this Lord of Flame. And the Lord of Flame is the one that like brought the power of fire to man.
And you said there was a female? Who's the lady?
Yeah, the Lady of Light. It's the female aspect of the deity. So in some interpretations, it's like I think the way Pyre explains it to you is that these are both like you can't think of the Lord as just the one, even though sometimes it's referred to as a separate entity, this Lady of Light, they're just two sides to the same, the duality of the universe. Right. This, you can't think of the Lord in terms of, our binaries here on Earth, right? He's both masculine.
Right. It's like the Holy Trinity, the Son, the Father, exactly. The Son, and the Holy Ghost. So you got the Lord of Light and the Lord of Flame and Lady of Light.
Yeah, and the ladies' antechamber is that front room, the windowed antechamber, and then here in like the back chamber, it's unlit, and you in fact you probably, I guess you walk into the antechamber, so that's your only like light for, and maybe you peer out the open door. You figure you could probably walk down the steps and not get beheaded. Right. Maybe like by the end of your 4 months, you've graduated to like being able to take your chamber pots and empty them in the street down the steps, and quickly scamper back up before any guild rats get the idea to nab you.
Okay. And there's no. So this is like the predominant religion of the area, right? There's not like those heathens over there with their polytheistic.
There are those heathens over there with their polytheistic.
In the Southern Isles.
You don't get. I mean, you don't hear much about it in your 4 months here.
Why would I?
Yeah, that's. I mean, other than those heathens that are out there in the woods dancing naked and invoking the wrath of fire. Maybe there's a story about lightning striking one of these debaucherous naked orgies of sin, and the lightning striking fire to the whole forest, and heathens being punished. But no, not yeah. So, okay, you were showing Pyre these whatever scriptures you stumbled on with reference to healing, and he thinks on this, and he says, these miracles happen from time to time, but you're only going to be disappointed if you go out seeking them, expecting them, demanding them of the Lord of Flame. That's not how this works.
Right.
He very much tries to dissuade. He's like, he encouraged. He's like, yeah, totally. These things happen, but it's not going to happen to you. Kind of kind
Right.
of talk.
Right.
Is there anything specific you wanted to ask him about it? I mean, unless you, yeah. But how else would you try to approach this?
Well, if I found these stories of these people who have gone through these trials and been healed by fire or burned by fire, I also want to look into where did the Lady of Light, is it the Lord of Flame who brought fire and the Lady of Light who continues to bring it? Like, where did the fire first touch the earth? Where did they first bring it?
I think that's it's not clear whether it's a physical place, whether it's a real place.
Right, like there's a Garden of Eden sort of thing going on, right? Like the Lord of Light or the Lord of Flame first came.
There is that sort of stuff, like when the races of men were living in darkness before the Lord of Flame brought fire. It was kind of an Eden time. They were living in darkness and peace, and as soon as they were able to see, they also saw their nature and saw the birth of evil, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. With the flame also brought the shadows kind of stories. Initially it was the Lord, it's typically translated as mask. I don't know if it's translated. I don't know if there is an ancient tongue to these scriptures. It's probably just the writing, and mm-hmm. like most people are illiterate. You can read, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So you're probably fairly, maybe that was a prize of usefulness. You're actually able to read these scriptures. I think one of your other torchbearers is like learning to read. And so like they're maybe, I think the Lady of Light comes later. That's why there's a debate. Are they the same person?
Right.
Different aspects. Initially it's masculine. Whatever. Archangel brings fire. Flame, shadow. It's probably on some hill, maybe in a forest somewhere. Whether it's a real place, I think is beyond your knowledge at the moment. I don't think you're going to come in as like an acolyte to the faith and solve these mysteries that I'm sure the High Pope of whatever is mulling over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a pope, but that's what the interchangeable word we've been using.
Okay, so I feel like I don't have anywhere to go. I feel like I don't have a clear path or even like a vague path to getting my arm restored.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I can't start just like wandering aimlessly through the streets. That's not going to be productive.
So we can, not if you plan on getting your arm restored, but it's not like I'm going to...
Well, I don't expect it to be like,
I'm not going to lay it out.
By the end of the session, his arm was fine. Like, I'm happy to put, if this is like a 4 or 5 session adventure to restore the arm, that's great. I'm all on board with that, but I'd like some direction.
We'll keep talking about it. Yeah, you're not going to get roll one religion check and figure this out. So, it's clear, stepping out of character for a second. You need magical healing, capable of healing 20 hit points. Mm-hmm. Which is 5th level spells, 5th level priest spells. So you need to find a level 9 priest. Speaking candidly, out of character here, which is probably going to be maybe one of the leaders of this order, or a leader in another order, perhaps those filthy heathens in the woods.
Right.
So these sorts of things. So you can think along those lines if you're looking for direction, right? You either need to devise a way to ingratiate yourself to the leader of this order, or seek elsewhere. Or you can just wander out into the world as a 10 HP wounded guy and continue your adventuring from there. I don't know that it's a given that this is immediately solvable unless you prioritize it.
I would like to prioritize it.
Yeah. So those are the two obvious options. Yeah.
So go back to the crazy druids, or ingratiate myself to the leader of this order. Now, if I'm trying to work with this order, they helped me, and I'm kind of following in their steps now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like going to the druids would not be within the character of Leon, who didn't like the druids to begin with, and now he's kind of following a different faith. So I feel like the druids are not so much an option unless I want to be like spitting in the face of the people that I've been telling. I've been
So, I mean, maybe
to.
Leon's at a bit of a crossroads because you've been putting in time for months. I mean, I'm not sure how you feel about the healing that you received. Your arm doesn't work, so yeah, you're alive. But you ask for more, and they're not. You don't get the answer from Pyre is that if the Lord doesn't want you to have your arm back,
right.
You should have burned yourself harder. I don't know. It's not meant to be. You tell him about these miracles you read about, and he says, these things happen, but.
So my other idea was to find some sort of sacred flame and immerse myself in it, throw myself into the region, which is why I was hoping to find if there was a supposed Garden of Eden or where these guys first touched down, maybe go find that spot and throw myself into the fire and hope I am worthy enough to the gods to come out the other side.
Do you bring this idea up out loud, or is this just in your head?
This is, I think, more in my head, but it seems like that sort of real Garden of Eden where the gods first came and brought us light isn't a place that you can go to, and is such a riddle that it's beyond my ability to solve it. So I want to find some other holy spot, some other sort of deeply important and sacred place within this religion. Where's their most holy place on the Southern Isles?
Roll another religion check. Although maybe this,
Another religion check is a 29.
Nice. So the largest cathedral, I guess, is going to be in Seagate.
Okay, but is that the
you
most
probably
holy
have
place?
heard there. Maybe you encounter rumor or speculation of there's a holy site, say on the other Southern Isle. That's I know it's a hot springs type of situation, and it's maybe speculated to maybe be the site where flame was first brought to Earth. Maybe that's an argument, but either way, there's some old church or something that marks the site or something that still congregates at that site.
I think that's where I'm going to go then.
The bubbling pools or something. Maybe even geysers and things. That's a long pilgrimage away.
That's fine. I think it would take a long pilgrimage to prove my worth to the Lord of Fire, Lord of Flame. I can't just show up and be like, "Hey, buddy, I was injured in your temple for a little while. Fix my arm." I need some sort of action to prove myself to this Lord. Which is a shame that I have Chill Touch as a spell and not some sort of Fire Touch. I don't have any fire-based spells. It's a damn shame. I'll have to find some eventually. So, I think I'm gonna make my way to the hot springs on the Southern Isle, and then I have some plans on how to hopefully ingratiate myself to the Lord of Flame.
I know it's a monastery, an abbey at this hot springs, at this holy site. I think they claim to be the original caves that the races of men crawled out of after receiving the gift of flame, but whether that's true beyond it,
Leon believes it. Great. So that's on a different island?
Or perhaps betwixt them. So you're basically looking at backtracking hundreds of miles the direction you came. So like back up the river, you sailed down however many months ago, getting back on the road, It
wouldn't make sense to take
east.
a ship from this place to that other island.
Um,
I'm right on the coast, right? If it's on another island, I'm going to have to take a boat eventually. So I could take a boat from a closer port, or I could take a boat from this port if it gets there. Or I could take a boat from this port to the other port, and then I could like ship hop around.
Yeah, you're not sure, but these are all viable. Maybe not viable. Who knows if you could get a boat? But potentially that is faster. Maybe to take a boat to like Brinton and walk from there. You're really not sure where these places are.
Well, I'd like to talk to Pyre about this. I'd like to ask Pyre to, where is this hot spring? I feel like there might be some sort of help for me there. I'm not quite ready to leave yet. I have some unfinished business here in Westport. But
I think he's all for your pilgrimage to this monastery idea. Maybe even he's the guy that like told you about it. So I don't know what else you want to know. I mean,
I would like
it's. I mean, it's a site of pilgrimage. It's a monastery that's tucked up this like canyon. It sounds like it's between these two of the Southern Isles. And there's some hot spring, maybe even like geysers that gush. It's
what
a
I'd like is
site.
like a rough map of the islands with an idea of where I am and an idea of where that is, so I can at least orient myself rather than just kind of like wandering off into the fog of war.
The church doesn't have a map as you're looking for it.
But like,
did we figure out how much of your money did you give away? Or how much of your wealth?
I ended up giving away my entire sack of silverware and goblets.
Okay.
Not the pommel, but the other stuff. But couldn't the priest at least be like, we're on an island here, and there's an island here, and an island here, and we're here, and you need to get to here. Like, it doesn't need to be super highly accurate, but I at least need some idea of the directions that I would be heading in.
It's east. I'm trying to think even like how this would how this conversation would go. Like, what are you like? A paper is valuable. It's not like he's going to waste pen and ink. I mean, maybe he would, but I think that's not a trivial thing.
Then he must have like if the other kids are learning to read and write, yeah. So then they've got wax tablets with little styluses that they're practicing their letters in, and you could easily
that's totally how it goes down. So you can sketch out on a wax tablet, but I think your geography is about. I mean, he's educated. Maybe it's a little better than his. Why are you drawing on the picture when there's like space below it?
Is there space down? Ooh, hey, I didn't even see that.
I mean, so your geography is probably about it. So there's an island that you're on.
Okay.
There's like another island across like a small, what is it called? It's like a strait. Maybe there's other islands around, but those are the two main ones. And like Westport's here on the west. Maybe Seagate's up here somewhere. There's Brinton, the capital of the kingdom, somewhere over here.
And the Abbey.
I think maybe it's not entirely clear. So here's Ashenholt somewhere in the middle, somewhat landlocked. It sounds like the Abbey is probably like it's over on this other island, but it's perhaps between them or near somewhere in the middle there. And it's remote. It's up like a mountain. There's some sacred hot springs at the top of this mountain.
But it's somewhere like in this zone.
Yeah, sure. And so I don't think that there's not like a map in the church. If you want to go find a map, cartographers are a thing. It's maybe unlikely that you have enough money to to do that. But that's why if it seems like I'm being withholding with this geography, it's usually part of the, I don't know, like buying a map is an expensive thing and should be an advantage, right?
Right. I need some basic ideas.
so
Like
that's
LA
what
is
we're
to
doing.
the south, San Francisco's to the north. I'm trying to get to Fresno, which is in the asshole of California.
Yeah,
Right,
but
so
having
that's-
never left your home city, like, I don't think you do know a whole lot about even where you are now, even in Westport, just 100 miles away.
Sure. So, this strait, is this the sort of strait that does the father know if this is the sort of strait that you can look across and you can see like the other island from one island from the other, or is it like a
In places, probably. Sounds like maybe shipping passes through there.
okay?
You
So
probably
we're
you probably
thinking
even
like
know
English
some of
Channel
this.
size, probably.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, because in some places,
Sure.
I think some places in the English Channel you can see France. Is that a lie? True. I think you can see Ross in certain areas on a really, really clear day if you've got like a little bit of height.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's a thing. You see from
Okay.
Dover to Cali? It's 25 miles. You'd have to have some height on you to do that. Not. Okay. Cool.
And yeah. Oh, scale. That's what I was gonna. I mean, this is probably each of these squares on this map is now like, I don't know, 100 miles, maybe 75
Sure.
miles.
Sure. Yeah.
So you're talking, hundreds of miles across this duchy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to the next one over.
Right. Unless I can
Through
travel
through
by-
unfriendly territory. Maybe you're not sure if you've lied low enough for long enough that you're off the guild's radar. Actually, you're pretty sure that you probably aren't.
Right. And to go back to the points one more time, I have 4 points left.
3. You used 1 to get +1 charisma, 1 to get the religion.
Okay.
So I think I'm liking the idea of integrating it into proficiencies.
Okay, so these points I can use to increase my proficiencies as I pass and fail and stuff.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So with these remaining 3, you're basically waiting till you can succeed on you get a success and a fail on a skill, and then you can trade those successes and fails in or whatever for a +1. Along with the ascendancy point.
Okay, so Leon needs to decide now whether he is going to try and go by ship or by land. Ship is definitely the fastest way there, but I kind of feel like an epic pilgrimage to this place needs to be an epic pilgrimage. Like, if I just take a boat over there, this Lord of Fire is going to see me as a lazy motherfucker. So Leon is pretty certain he's going to go across the land.
Now, Torchbearer. Well, I think that the pilgrimage to the God, we gotta come up with a name for this place. The Bobbling Monastery is a worthy ambition for one's life. You can't go there expecting miracles to happen to you. Or perhaps even if you do experience this miracle, it won't be what you were looking for.
I look at Pyre. This is like probably the day that I'm getting ready to take off. And say to him, I already have experienced miracles as I cast the words to Fist of Stone. And turn my left good hand into a hand of rock.
He looks with bewilderment and surprise. What do you do with your Fist of Stone? Do you just show it to him, or do you punch something?
No.
I mean, you get an action after, like he's surprised.
I just
he
cast
hesitates.
it and
Is this outside?
present
Is this
him
in?
to the show, the hand, the fist.
Right.
Miracles happen, Father. Fire.
He nods. I saw the flame in your eyes the first morning we met, but perhaps I misjudged its colors. I think it is time for you to leave and walk your shadow into the light once more.
I nod.
So there's perhaps some understanding, but I think now that you've confirmed
witchcraft,
you're a wizard, you're probably not welcome here anymore.
Yeah, which is fair. I'm not exactly looking to stay here any longer. I know I've imposed upon them. Mm-hmm. They've done great things for me by letting me rest and heal and saving me from murder, certain death. And now I have to hold up my end of the bargain and provide some sort of significant services for them in order to even out our problems.
Anything for profit in chat sums it up pretty well. This is Ryan's roundabout way of saying the fire god's number one most granted miracle is first degree burns, and the second is becoming a pile of ash.
Yes.
Is that really what you're after?
Yes. You don't even know, man. The plans I have for healing myself are obscene.
So do we need any more tear jerking goodbye rituals?
No, we're done here. I think.
All right, you take off down the street with your sack over your shoulder. Did you have rations to begin with?
Nope, I'm out of food. I think
you can snag from the kitchen. I mean, you'll grab from the kitchen as you leave. I bet one of the other torchbearers actually has packed you like a little rucksack.
Sure. I think before I leave town,
let's say 7 days worth of rations. I don't think it's
Nice.
Did you already have a water skin?
I did.
Okay.
That will slightly encumber me, but that's okay. I think my very first stop is going to be towards the docks, find a cartographer to try and purchase a map. Just see if it's within my ballpark of price.
How much do you have?
I have 10 gold, cash? 3 platinum, and 30 silver.
Oh.
Plus a bejeweled hilt. The 3 platinum I'm hoping will save me.
Yeah, you can buy a map with some platinum. Let's see. Well, hold on a sec. A piece of paper is typically like a gold.
Mm-hmm. But it could be on parchment, which is cheaper as a half.
Slightly, yeah. So I think 10 gold for a regional map will be suitable.
Cool. And we're doing 10 platinum, 10 gold to the platinum.
Yeah.
So I will give him a platinum piece. I will take a map.
Yeah, you can.
And I will turn my attention east and overland.
I should probably make this like a. Damn it! Not copying over very well. Or did I just? Oh, there's a thing. That is a thing.
Southern Isles map is not.
Oh God, what have I done? Trying to show you a map, but it's
see a map.
Let me layer. Let's call it map layer. So this is like just. Oops. Everything shifted, but I think that's fine. Let me give you like a draw shape.
So this is an incomplete map that I'm looking at right here.
It's the majority of the West Isle, but let me. Oops. Let's fill.
It has Brenton on this map, and Brenton's on the next dial over, right?
Yeah, it's just an arrow pointing to Brenton. Like. Oop. Seriously? Layer. Come on, you fucker. But God, roll 20 is so awkward. Why do I try? Oh God.
Oh no, multiple maps. Multiple things on multiple layers.
All right, you've got your map. You've subtracted your
I subtract my platinum. This is just this map, or do I get a map of both islands?
This is all you get for 10 silver. I don't actually have a map of the other islands.
I'm sorry, 10 gold?
Sorry, 10 gold.
Okay. Is this all I get because you don't have a map of the other island, or because there is another map that I could buy? Because I have more platinum. I'd like a map of both islands.
I don't think you get it. It doesn't exist in this shop.
Okay. Cartographers of Westport are notoriously lazy and sloppy. It's fine.
Why
make do?
This is the worst. Roll 20. What is happening right now? What have I done?
Well, we're basically at the end of. Why don't we just let you fix this another day?
There's not going to be any fixing. We're just going to next time we play dicing with that, we'll just return to me fussing with the map.
All right.
Let's see. So where are you? What is your plan? So you know that you could take a ferry upriver. You know where to hop on that ferry.
That is what I plan to do.
That's an option. Yeah.
That is what I plan to do. Yep. I'm going to backtrack. I'm going to go up the river, across the lake, and then hop on the road. I feel like some of these names got moved.
Yeah, everything got... Actually, no. It looks okay. Where did I moved Westport? I don't know where Westport went.
Yeah, but I feel like
everything's kind of shifted.
This is Glenberg, and this is Fairway, and this is Cornbrook, and this is Ashenholt.
All correct. Yeah, those are correct except for Glenberg. Glenberg is this one.
Okay. Is this Ashlock right here?
Yeah. Gosh, so are you like scribbling on the map that you just bought?
No, I'm just trying to make sense of the map that you gave me.
Hey, I wasn't prepared for this. I didn't think you actually had money.
Uh-huh. Okay, so my plan is going to be to travel up the river. It's way too thin of a line. And then to get to Ashlock and take this road until I find some town on the coast over here where I'll go across a boat. And then get to the other island and then kind of look around for this abbey over there, which I'm sure I can find at least rough directions to in this town over here. So that's my plan.
Cool beans. Let's do experience.
Sure, yeah.
Don't think there's much. I'll give you... Can have 150 for defeating or for killing the one gilded man.
Okay.
You did kind of lose that encounter, but
I badly lost that encounter.
But hey, so 150 there and 500 for the whole. I don't know, your time as an acolyte, your healing and recovery.
Okay.
Your repentance, blah, blah, blah. I don't think there's anything else. So I think we'll just say 650 plus 10% bonus.
Times 1.1.
You didn't, I guess you did cast one spell. Hold on, you cast one
I cast
Fist of Stone. I think that
Grasp.
and Shocking Grasp. So that together will give you an additional. Is it 50 per spell level or 100 per spell level? What have we been doing? I think it's 50
per spell level.
So at 100, so 750 plus 10% bonus. So 825.
Yep.
Still a long way from level 4.
Brings me to 7,100.
Or level 4 as a mage.
Right, out of 10,000. So I need 2,900 level. Which hopefully I will get. Have plans to revisit the person whom I stole this sword from and return the hilt to him as a way of apology.
The Mad Monk returns.
Well, Leon is trying to repent for his more evil ways and, undo some of the horrible things that he's done. Maybe Maldris is not a good name for him. Leon is seeming to have many identity crises, not sure what to do with his life. His story keeps shifting like sands under his feet. Eventually, he'll settle on something for realsies. But for now, maybe this Lord of Flames has the secrets he's looking for. Maybe. So I think that is Dicing with Death for this week.
I think so. Let's see. Not sure what my schedule will be next week, but we can try and get an episode sometime.
Yeah, let's pencil something in for same time slot next week. Thursday, 10 a.m.
Actually, that might actually work. I don't know. We'll see. Quarter will be starting up a week from today, I think. Officially. I don't know when. I probably won't have any classes until like the second week, but any labs. So things may need to shift, but we'll see. And we got a Fro
on
this
Sunday.
Weekend.
Yes,
Sunday.
we do. An interesting episode of Frozen Frontier. If you guys missed the last one, the one that happened last Sunday, you should go take a look at it because there's some cool stuff that happened there. We're going to be doing a lot of... Oh, that doesn't matter. But the Fro campaign is taking a slightly different direction than it has in the past.
What? What does that mean?
It means you've discovered some level of civilization.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just save the spoilers.
We'll just leave it at that.
Do you have any more streaming today? What is your plan after this?
We're going to be doing some more streaming. We're going to be doing some Fatal One preparation today. But that means we'll basically just be watching like old movies that are in the public domain while I plan Fatal One in secret. So if you want to hang out and watch old, amazing, or terrible, or terribly amazing movies, stick around. It's going to be good. We'll do some Fatal One prep. And that's what I got for today. Ryan, what are you doing for today?
I don't know.
Are you making a Twitter account finally?
I know. Why? That seems like a horrible way to spend an afternoon.
That's not an afternoon task. It's a 5-minute task at most.
Gross. And it'll only cost you the rest of your life. Yeah, I don't know. I got no plugs. I haven't thought past D&D today. So I'll see y'all on Sunday.
Yeah.
Right?
We'll see you guys Sunday for Fro.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.